Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. I really feel extremely honored to be among so many rectors, deputy rectors, and former rectors. And my special thanks to Rector Tansari Dato Abdulhamid for his leadership and the introduction to the topic. I am extremely thankful that you have organized this event honoring my very dear brother, Professor Dr. Abdulhamid ABuSulayman. I know Professor ABuSulayman mid-75, that's almost 45 years. We have known each other, met in different places, and so on and so forth. But before I talk about Abdulhamid, I just want to say Professor Kamal Hassan did a good job just to share with you that a book has just been published about Ismail Faruqi's writings and is available with you with Imtiaz Yusuf in ISTAC. And a similar book is about to be released about the summary of the works of Abdulhamid from Egypt. That should be just about a couple of weeks away. I met Dr. Abdulhamid ABuSulayman in late 1970, mid-1970, when he was Secretary General of World Assembly of Muslim Youth, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. He gave me a copy of his unique work, his dissertation, The Islamic Theory of International Relations, Its Relevance Past and Present, which he finished in 1973. Since that time, I developed a great appreciation for him and his scholarship. I personally feel that we have intellectual deficit, as was mentioned by Brother Kamal Hassan. But he was one of those, I felt very much attached because he was one of the intellectual which we rarely find. He is a unique person who believes in original thinking and creates new knowledge. Abdulhamid is a contemporary intellectual thinker who focuses on Quran and Hadith and tries to interpret and understand the deeper meaning rather than just the literal or superficial understanding. Most of the time, he is a contrarian with solid evidence. His views and understanding are often ahead of the time, and his opinion often take time to become the norms. I have heard him say that when he presents his views, or innovative views, I must say, to ulmas, they do not agree and feel uncomfortable. When he asks them, what is your counter argument to this innovative and thought-provoking ideas, he does not get much of a response. He always believed that the problems we have are because of the inadequate education system. We focus on halal and haram without any tolerance, forgiveness, and mercy. He told me, for example, when we started teaching Quran to our children, we start with Juz 30, which talks about punishments, heaven and hell, instead of focusing on forgiveness, kindness, and mercy. This is a scary way to introduce Quran to the children. Dr. Abdulhamid is quoted to be known as an international renowned Islamic scholar, thinker, educationist, and author of many, many books and articles on the subject of Islam and Islamic reform, especially in the fields of thought and education. Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim, then Minister of Education, Malaysia, asked him to join the International Islamic University, IIUM, and to be its rector, which he accepted. I remember the discussion we had whether he should move to Malaysia or not, but he was very keen to contribute to IIUM. During his tenure as rector of IIUM, he worked to convince the traditionalists that the Islamic University does not have to use Arabic as medium of instruction, and also do not have to have a complete separation between males and females. While he focused on building the program, he and faculties of the university, he also spent time in designing the new Gumba campus of IIUM. He was very proud of the architectural achievement of Gumba, and he went to some details in talking about the unique aspects of the architectural structure. One of the things which he mentioned, which is notably the mosque being in the center of the campus with all other buildings around it. And his view was that you make it easy for people to pray rather than they have to go and find a mosque where it is. Here, when they go from one faculty to another, they have to pass through or around the mosque. They can stop and pray, and that was his view. Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim remarked at the establishment of Abdulhamid ABuSulayman Scholarship at IIUM, I have never seen a remarkable and impeccable person like him who is so passionate and dedicated to IIUM. This was just about 2 years ago. He believed in good governance, strong institutions, which are the foundation of free speech and creativity, leading to building a strong civilization. On a personal level, I am so grateful and thankful to God for his love, affection, and more importantly, the unconditional trust he has placed in me. Often we were together in certain board meetings. He would say, which was very touching to me, that my vote is with Yaqub, or whatever he votes, I will vote. His children tell me that whenever he talks to them, without fail, he will say, give my salams to Yaqub. And that he tells them, help and work with him, whatever he needs, including money, let him have it. I often wonder, what have I done to deserve this from him? It is very humbling indeed. Whenever I discussed the matters with him, he was extremely patient to listen, analyze, give me his views, and then he will always say, Sheikh, you know better. A great sign of humbleness, which I always cherished and honored. Another great quality, unlike many, was with his no desire for money or more money. He never asked me how much he has. He was happy to be a volunteer to serve. As Professor Kamal Hassan mentioned, that the salary he received as director of IIUM, he donated to the university to offer scholarship to foreign students. And he and his family is continuing to add on to this scholarship. And 2 years ago, Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim presented a check for $250,000 from their personal money to endow a fund for this purpose. And following his instructions, he has asked us to contribute another $150,000 each year, which we did last year, and we hope to do that this year as well. And thereafter, his instruction is that whenever possible, we should help this fund. And he really loves the foreign students to be able to get education and have the means to be able to attend a university and get quality education. He is one of the rare persons I know who devoted his life for the Ummah selflessly, and he did not aspire for position or monetary gain. I remain committed to his ideals and the lessons I learned through my association with him. And I pray that he is in good health, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him long life. Thank you so very much.